Yo, okay, those things are good. We're good to go. We're good to go. Good to go. Bears are on. Let's turn off the news. Let's bring this back down. We don't need the chat. We don't need the volume for this to see the Bears. We do need to go start some YouTube though. I need to start some YouTube, ho. Yeah. Start a YouTube ho list. A YouTube blow list.
Only.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I do not do clippers on the top.
Wait, actually?
Nope.
Okay. You know what? I'm ready.
Got a review in.
Okay, let's hear it. She's fucking lil bro shit up. I'll say it.
Thank you. Thank you. Shut up, right? Like I'm not crazy. Let's just make sure you're doing the same height every time. You almost want it like perfectly every comb. That was not even. That was way lower. That
No,
was
dude.
way
If it's
lower.
all even, it's gonna look like.
I want it all even, Ref.
No.
I want it all even.
No, because if it's all even, then it's gonna
I'm
be.
asking. I'm asking.
Yeah, but sometimes
I'm
your
the
opinion
fucking
does
client.
not matter.
I want it all even. I want
Yeah,
it.
but the thing is, sometimes I'm gonna say no.
Why?
Because I think I know what looks good, and I think that you are giving me instructions to make your hair look bad. So, you come to the professional is best. What is going on? I'm very honest. It looks like you're struck by lightning, and there is no saving this. There's
You're the barber.
well, I don't know what you want.
An even haircut.
Okay, but it's not my fault your hair swoops like, you know what I mean?
You know what? Actually, I think the haircut's good and done.
No, it's not good and done.
No, I think we should stop. I think we're doing so well that it's like, how do you ruin the Mona Lisa? You know, keep adding strokes. Sorry, I have a thing.
Okay, if you could not like scrunch
Alright,
it down
yeah,
because I'm
sorry.
expecting your hair to be at a certain level. When you scrunch down, your hair is no longer at that level.
So it makes you cut less.
Yes,
Okay,
and it's
awesome.
not. It's just not doing it.
That's good.
Okay, I made
That's
touch
good.
you. So you need to just.
That's good.
Why are you getting so
That's
short?
good. I think you're good. I think you got it. I think you got the hair. You got the hair. You know what? I was gonna say it earlier. The top is so done.
Where are you?
The top is so done.
The top is done. So we like to always offer a complimentary eyebrow slit. So I think we'll just do one here.
You know what?
Okay.
I was thinking about the eyebrow slit.
No, it's complimentary. It's actually
Right. I know. I get that. I get how
A
that
lot.
complimentary works. I was thinking about it,
okay.
and I almost think that it'd be better if we didn't do it.
No.
What if we?
Match
I have to
found.
ask you a question.
Okay.
Why is that not in the right month?
That's true. July, August, September. You can't leave.
I'm not leaving. I'm
Where are you
going to the
going?
bathroom. Yeah.
You promise
I'm
you
sure.
come back.
Of course. Of course.
You don't leave without getting the slit.
I'm not getting the slit.
Now lean back in the chair.
I'll go slit for slit. That's it. Slit for
What?
slit. Slit for slit.
Like I have to get one.
Yes, that's how it works. Slit for slit, or I'm out.
Okay, fine. No slit. But wax.
Coward. What?
Just the brow right here.
Not the slit.
Wait, why not?
We talked
Smokes,
about
please.
this.
You're trapped.
Gaslight Gary, slit for slit.
But last time you met
Why
me
not?
up,
Why not match me?
I'm going home to my family next
I'm
week.
going home to my family
Yes,
next
I'm
week.
Parent.
I have a 90-year-old grandfather.
Okay, and what's he gonna say?
Bonjour, ça va Ludwig? Ça fait quelques années que je t'ai vu. Et comme t'as grandi. Bisous.
That's not so bad.
No, he literally in that sentence said, I'm gonna fucking kill you because of that eyebrow slit. It's just sweet sounding language.
Oh, okay.
Alright, no slit for slit. We'll do it another day. Another day where you don't have to see your family.
Man.
What do you already fucked my shit up. Why are you pouting?
Well, honestly, I did such a good job.
My shit beat.
This is so good.
It actually isn't that bad
Can
on
I
this
please,
side.
like, look at this, guys? Like, this is actually a good haircut.
The left side is a little.
No, it's not.
horrible.
There's
It's
one
genuinely so
minor
bad.
bald spot in the middle.
That was when you were freestyle. I told you not to freestyle.
It's actually. Wow.
God, it's actually so
That's actually
deep.
pretty deep.
Let me shower, rinse off, and then show it
Sword
off.
and sword.
Did I do good? I don't think he's coming back. I feel like I did good. I don't think anyone's coming back. I realized that this started with 3 people, and then now there's only me. And I don't think anyone's returning. But wait, your hair's fantastic.
It's, you know,
It looks fantastic.
use a bit of pomade. Okay, that, you see, that side still looks a little, you know. Can you go back to that side for a second?
Okay,
Actually,
though,
it's-
homies. Teamwork on 3. 1,
It's not
2,
bad.
3.
Right. I just think, okay,
It's not bad. Okay.
sure, yeah.
Okay. This side is way better.
This side's clean.
Objectively,
This side's clean.
this side is way better.
I mean, yes, it is objectively better.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay, and like, okay. So is that do we need to fix the back side?
You know
The
what?
left side?
I think we should stop.
How was your first experience?
I don't think I'd come back.
Like, look at it.
No, I did.
Yeah, but look at it. Look. Okay, let's not look at the left side. We're looking. Look at the right side. Look at the right side. We're looking at the right side. We're looking at the right side.
I paid $400.
Go see.
Can't afford an RX 100? This pocket camera costs half as much, and look at the footage you can get with it.
Enemy spotted C.
In the world of pocket cameras, the Rolls-Royce is the Sony RX 100. The latest model is the Mark 7. But it's $1,300 and a lot of people cannot afford that. So I offer for your consideration another camera that looks exactly the same. They're both 1-inch sensor, flip-up screen, 4K touchscreen. They both can do manual. But this is less than half the price. This is the Panasonic Lumix LX10. Look at some of the shots you can take with this thing. It has a really unique look to it. And why is that? Well, the background's kind of blurry. How can you get that with a pocket camera? Well, the reason for that is it has a 1.4 lens. It even has a dial on the front that allows you to take it to 1.4, which is rare for a pocket camera. For example, the RX goes from 2.8 to 4.5. That's normal for a camera like this. Both have zoom lenses. The RX has a more substantial zoom. It's 24 to 200. The LX only goes from 24 to 72, but that's a normal range. You got
30
your wide
seconds
angle
left.
to your portrait, but this is 1.4 to
Spike
2.8.
planted.
And that's what makes this thing so amazing. The RX has optical image stabilization. The LX has sensor shift stabilization. They're not that great. I mean, you're not going to do walking and talking with it. For that, get the Pocket 3. It's got a 1-inch sensor. But these are real cameras. These you can take real
Who's
pictures with.
Lightning Queen?
And they're not just a permanently fixed wide-angle lens. You can actually take normal
Like,
pictures with these because they have the zoom
Cars or
lenses.
whatever the hell that
Now the
came from.
RX, the difference between these two is the RX has a viewfinder, which you need in bright sunlight to see what you're doing, and the viewfinder in the RX is mind-blowing.
Gatorade
You look
tastes
at
like
this
there's
thing and you're just
alcohol
like,
in it.
wow. And the other cool thing
Pretty
is for a
confident
camera
it's
that
not.
has a viewfinder on it, to be able to have a flip-up screen, I love that. I hate the flip-out screens. I love the flip-up screens. So it has that. That is just really cool. The RX has a mic jack. The LX doesn't, but I don't care because I always shoot my audio
Jesse
separate
Nunez.
anyway. I'm shooting it right separately
Flash
right now.
Flash
It had the
McQueen,
RX with better
Lightning
colors,
McQueen,
more vibrant colors. It
Thunder
had the
McQueen.
famous Sony eye tracking where it can follow you around no
Dash
matter what you
McQueen.
do. The LX is alright, but it doesn't have the famous Sony eye tracking. The Sony has a stack sensor, so it's got high sensor readout speed, less rolling shutter, but nobody really can tell the difference in that. Who cares, right? The LX, on the other hand, has the 1.4 lens with a noticeably blurry background, which you cannot get with almost any other camera.
Jesse Nunez.
And the lens on the LX
Anya
is
McQueen.
sharp. It is so sharp, even wide
Anya?
open at 1.4. I'm shooting with it right here. This is an LX I'm shooting with right here. I can hold. I got two of them. One in my hand and one I'm shooting with. And look how sharp it is. Even wide open, it's pretty sharp. Now, obviously, in bright sunlight. So how do I get to 1.4? No, it does not have a built-in ND. The way I get that is I made a video about this device. You can attach to the front of your lens, where you can.
I don't know who Stuyada is.
A video of an Israeli soldier, Palestinian shot. First, I'm going to show you the video, and then I'm going to explain why this kind of behavior is wrong. Let's watch the video.
Enemy spoken A. Reloading. Blow him up, Maj.
Sage, can I get a heal?
For you.
I spike.
One enemy remaining.
Before I get started, this video is probably going to
30
be shared a
seconds
lot,
left.
so let me introduce myself. My name is Ryan McBeth. I'm playing with heavy weapons and tank infantryman. I served 20 years. I did multiple deployments, the last of which was to Iraq. I became a software engineer, and now I investigate digital disinformation. If you're in the American military or a NATO or allied military and want an offline copy of this video to use as a training tool, send me an email from your military address and I will get it to you. There's a lot to unpack here, so I'm going to start by saying that what this soldier did was wrong. If you don't speak Hebrew, this soldier was basically calling out prices and offering deals and smashing the merchandise. The soldier doesn't have a weapon on him, so it's my guess that he feels like he's in a pretty safe area and a bunch of his buddies are around. But you know who isn't around? Any leadership who would have put a stop to this. There's no weapons in the toys he was breaking. There's no Israeli prisoners
Spike
in those
down,
toys.
mid.
It's just some Palestinian guy's shop. And this is just a guy who's trying to eke out a living selling sundries. And, you know, insurance doesn't typically cover war damage, so when all this is over with, this Palestinian man has to go back to his shop and put his life back together again. That life was already hard, he just made it hard. This kind of behavior typically isn't allowed in any military, and there are some pretty specific reasons why. For years, looting was a part of war. I'm sure you've heard the term the spoils of war. But around the Napoleonic era, this practice started to become discouraged in order to improve discipline. As a commander, the last thing you want on the battlefield is for your troops to think about enriching themselves rather than
Your mom's
accomplishing the mission.
pussy. See it popping?
George Washington forbid his troops to loot
Way to
Tory
distract
property
me and get me
for fear of
killed.
flogging and wanton acts of
One enemy
punishment
remaining.
by death. Now, there is
30
a
seconds
practice
left.
of taking trophies. We've all watched war movies where a guy takes a pistol as a trophy from an enemy soldier. And in the U.S.
Figure
Army,
out when the
that
appropriate
practice
time to
has been
talk is.
curtailed at a personal level.
He says they're ballistic.
Typically, war trophies are only
Yeah, you're going
permitted
0
at a
and
unit
4.
level.
And shut the fuck up.
These are normally items of
That was my
confiscated enemy
point.
property, such as
You're in my
weapons and
ears for
flags,
no
and
reason,
then only
bro.
taken back home after
Yeah, you're in my
extensive
ears.
use.
Asking
Oh,
about my
we'll see.
crosshair.
Or as
Yeah,
it
you're
is
talking
more
about
properly
mom's
known,
pussy. I'm
pillage
going 6
is
and 2.
specifically
Okay.
banned by the Geneva
Stop
What does that mean?
excuses
But this
and play.
one
Guys, I
wasn't
liked you guys
exactly
better when you
looting,
were
it was more
quiet.
like wanton.
There you go. Shut
you
the
shut the
fuck
hell
up.
up, too.
Well,
Shut
there's
the
a
fuck
concept
up.
called
Play the
military
game.
excess. This is a principle in the
It's
laws
zero
of armed
before.
conflict
Listen
and
to you.
international
This
humanitarian
is what you're
law
communicating
that
about?
recognizes the right of a belligerent party, the party engaged in war, to take
A,
measures that are
it's
essential to
it's
achieve a
A.
legitimate
I forgot to
military
mention it's
objective.
A.
It encompasses what is a lawful goal. It also deals with proportionality, or how an advantage gained from a particular action must outweigh the expected
should
harm
run.
to civilians or civilian property. It also deals with the avoidance of unnecessary suffering and humanitarian considerations, such as the protection of non-combatants.
I just killed the other
It is
dude.
lawful to destroy civilian property. You
Aw.
might need to kick in the door of a house, go upstairs, set up a sniper position on the roof. And it's even okay to take that family's kitchen table and put it near a window.
Don't push and I'll heal you when I can.
Use some of the family's clothes.
Backside, flanking you, shut.
Somebody's
And if your
there.
unit needs water, you can take water from their pantry. But you can't randomly destroy the property without a military
40 Brim music
justification.
actually. Look out, guys.
Israel has a sort of code of conduct known as purity of honor. Part of this code of conduct
30
is the
seconds
following
left.
phrase. An IDF soldier will only exercise their power
Last
or use
player
their weapon
standing.
in order to fulfill their mission and only when necessary. They will maintain their command during combat in routine times. The soldier will not use their weapon or power to harm uninvolved civilians or
Spike
prisoners and will
planted.
do everything in their power to
Got him.
prevent harm
Fresh
to
is
their
ready.
lives, bodies, dignity, and property. So as you can imagine, this soldier is facing a lot of trouble. The IDF is a unit that spends all day looking online for posts about Israeli soldiers, and they've probably already seen this video. Most likely, the soldier's chain of command has been notified about him. He's probably been pulled from his unit to face charges. It's also my guess that this soldier is most likely a reservist, since they don't tend to do this full time, and their discipline tends to be a little more lax. Active duty IDF soldiers tend to be more disciplined. The active duty IDF also takes the cell phones of soldiers when they're on the front lines. They put those phones into a box. The phone confiscation is done for a number of reasons. First, cell phone signals can give away your location. So can the metadata and geolocation of a picture you post online. Russian soldiers in Ukraine found that one out firsthand, and it's still happening. So why even do this video? Everybody watching this pretty much knows what that soldier did was wrong. Why does it even need a video? Because in a world where information spreads rapidly, the responsibility for adherence to morality doesn't just lie with military authority. It lies with you, the
Window
individual
B.
soldier. Such behavior undermines the trust and respect that is crucial for military operations. It is up to you to destroy only what is militarily
Window B.
necessary and return home with honor. Thank you for watching.
I'm gonna molly this off. Let's rotate to B.
In a world with fashion, fun, where style becomes threat, it's time to gear up the ultimate mission. Father and friend, introducing the rock style t-shirt. Fairly standard now. Feel the adrenaline rush. Live, laugh,
Enemy
release.
spotted mid.
Unity and style. Get yours.
In the news this week, we're going to talk about how attempts to get scammed on Amazon for 7900 XTX or XT for the just through a primary GPU in
They
this
probably
way.
rotated A.
There's something there you could use it for, but it's silly in a way that's cool, and technologically it's interesting, and it's also just a fun way for Asus to say, hey,
30
NVIDIA,
seconds left.
look, maybe put more lanes on the cards next time. That would be nice. But anyway, we're sure Case Modder will come up with something really interesting to make use of this concept. Next one. RTX 4090s are getting harvested, according to a new report by WCCF Tech, for parts for AI builds.
seconds left.
So gaming
One
market
enemy
4090s
remaining.
are being stripped of their coolers, having the GPU die and memory removed from the PCB, then transplanted onto new PCBs with 2-slot blower
planted.
coolers. Now, almost certainly, the new versions of these cards are significantly worse thermally, acoustically, maybe electrically
Last
from a
player
power design
standing.
standpoint.
40.
But the single advantage they have is that they better fit into server boxes. So that's both from a height standpoint, where a lot of the aftermarket or board partner custom PCBs for 4090s are running tall, and of course they also have massive flat coolers. They tend to be axial, whereas going with
Fumble, but interception and fumble.
And moving to this might let them cut them down to say a more traditional height and
We are up 10. We just
Let's
got
talk about the why, for why any of this might make sense. Disassembling these cards, putting them back together in what's definitely just, I mean, they're not as good. They're better for the use case that these vendors have for them, but they're stripping away expensive RGB LEDs and maybe 3-fan coolers, expensive components, expensive VRM and PCB design, stripping those away and making them something else. So financially, it's a big investment, and part of the reasoning we think for this is you look at the RTX 4090s right now, well, in the West, they're like basically not available. But
Spike
in
down
China,
mid.
they have or will soon become legally unavailable, and that is through the sanctions we've been covering the last couple of weeks now. So this follows export bans on the most high-end NVIDIA data center accelerators for AI and other tasks. And There's also a ban on
It's
60
you
more
and
4090s, and at this point, NVIDIA has actually removed mentions of the 4090 from at least a couple of the Chinese language versions of its website. We've covered that story previously, so you can check back for a previous news video for that if you haven't seen it. WCCF Tech gathered the information and photos from 5G forums, where you can see users posting photos of 4090s in various stages of disassembly. They show the newly assembled PCBs, built cards afterwards. Most of the cards being worked on at the facility are from Palit, a pallet of Palit, but models from Asus, Colorful, and PNY are also shown. With prices skyrocketing to $2,000 plus now, at least in the market we observe in the US, it's possible that these types of operations are buying cards off of gaming users as well as the usual wholesale or retail channels they may have access to. Now, an unfortunate downside to this whole process is the massive mountain of e-waste it's going to produce, because when you build a cooler for something like the 4090, it's so customized, it really doesn't have much of a use case in going back on that specific PCB. So, can't really do much with that unless they were to, at some point, get more 4090s GPUs and BGA solder them onto the old board and pull it back on it. But that seems like a whole lot of steps to jump through and unlikely. So you end up with boards that are expensive, where the GPU is being extracted from them, put on a smaller board. And
I've got your
coolers.
trail.
And what do you do with any of these parts? You maybe desolder stuff or like sell it piecemeal or something, but most likely a lot of this is going to end up as waste. Anyway, the most likely reasoning for any of this is so the companies that are driving this can cram more 4090s into more machines and do whatever they're trying to do with them, whether that's machine learning processes or AI or whatever it may be. So anyway, it's a crazy story. For the final entry of this episode, we got something fun. Not lighthearted, but it is fun. Mostly because the more you pay attention to what's happening technologically and within
One
society,
enemy
the
remaining.
more you realize that truly there
Last
is
player
no more
standing.
fiction. It's all reality. First, the Kumite HDMI cable operation was busted in Kaohsiung, Taiwan. Police found $80 million of Taiwan dollars
messed
worth
with one
of
of us.
cables,
They
or
messed with one of
$2.6 million in USD, and they say these are counterfeits. As for what makes a counterfeit HDMI cable, well, it's apparently that they didn't pay to license the name HDMI. HDMI must be licensed from the HDMI Association, and the police department's statement effectively translates to them saying that sellers often don't understand that the products must be licensed, so they busted them and seized all their assets. The concern was that unlicensed HDMI cables don't pass any particular certifications, and there was some mention of potentially posing a risk to consumers for quality or safety. The report indicates that manufacturers have to be registered through the HDMI Association to be in compliance with the trademark. Next, last month, a Polish courthouse identified a crypto mining operation that was stealing power from a government building. The electricity thieves were contractors for a third-party IT company that worked for the government courthouse. And the Polish government released a statement noting that they had been stealing hundreds to thousands of US dollars worth of electricity per month. The mining machines, apparently, were hidden in the ductwork of the government building, which is definitely a news feed from Strax and criminally charged. How do we get charged the fastest? What if we do a crime in a government building? We can just be judged right then and there, and then find it in
Last player
CBS
standing.
News events or whatever. Up next, we saw a press release
Someone's
posted for a digital
Spike planted.
scam
One
that
enemy
markets
remaining.
Eternal life.
Stick it.
It says that your answer to about 20 to 25 questions,
Use your
a
wingman.
couple of selfies that you upload, and a USB key will preserve your existence for eternity. The press release stated this, quote, "With so much uncertainty,
Everyone on our
we believe it's important for us
doing
as
really well
people
right now.
to start collecting
There's one
information
weak
about
link in
ourselves
our
as
team.
soon as possible.
The,
Only then can we ensure that when the time comes,
Hey,
we
they
don't
finally got a
vanish,
kill, so.
but instead leave our lasting presence behind. From grandparents to creatives, okay? Everyone has something
shore
to
in the
share
middle.
with
show
future
the
generations,
weakest link.
and we make it
weakest
possible to
link.
do so forever. Now,
I think it's too
as
sick.
we all know, grandparents and
Really?
creatives
Come
are
say that to me in
completely
person.
mutually
I
exclusive.
think you're the
One
weakest
cannot
link.
be the other. So this is a necessary technology. We wagered that this was originally supposed to be an NFT of some kind, and then maybe it was supposed to be part of the metaverse. But when those rugs started getting pulled, they just defaulted to the classic longest running con of all time, selling eternal light. Why not put a modern spin on it?
It's
been a
you
video
and me.
game for thousands of years. So include a USB key, sell it for $20, say something about GDPR, and you're good to go. And that is, by the way, what it costs. $20 to tune your, what they call, clone.
No way that fucking is.
And if you're worried about data collection, don't worry
You should
about
run.
uploading selfies and answering 20 to 25 questions that may or may not include security prompts. We're not sure, because front and center, the press release tells you
Yo, Sage,
they're
Reds, give
GDPR
Reds.
compliant.
Spike planted.
If that doesn't make you concerned,
Sage, what?
then
Sage, Reds.
we're not sure what.
Shut the fuck up.
It seems like the type of thing that's like
One enemy remaining.
Oh, damn, he got a kill. This is a
Just
shot.
our
Shut the
opinion.
fuck up,
That's it for
dude.
this one.
How is
Hopefully
that
we don't
helping
have enough dystopian news for this to happen every week, but it's kind of fun if we do. At least we can laugh at the demise of technology and society colliding. Alright, thanks for watching. Subscribe for more. Go to store.gamersaccess.net to grab an item and support us directly, or gamersaccess.net to check out the new mega charts. We're going to be adding more and more new things. It's
Or just
gonna
so
take us to put them
somebody
all
have
in, but it's been really fun working on, and we'll see you all next week.
Yes, nice job, guys.
This is our
I'm so weak. Look at me break.
Reloading.
Vibe check, we feeling good? Hope so, hope so.
Yo, Sage, your mom's got a fat ass.
My mom's been dead for 20 years, buddy.
Oh shit, I'm bad.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Rand Show. We got a great show for you lined up this week. Oh man, the big controversy. Intel accuses AMD of misleading branding. Wow, this is like the pot calling the kettle the same color as the pot is. Phone that is off. I was gonna go for something else. The point is, really, you guys? Alright, so we'll be talking about that. We're also going to be talking about the other big scandal this week, the LTT backpack. Does it have 2 layers on the bottom? No. No. And we're going to tell you guys how we're dealing with that. What else we got, Luke?
Sage,
Which
you
leaves
Spike
South
down.
Korea.
You can do it,
Just
Sage.
entirely
You got it,
gone.
Sage.
All the Twitch streamers have
Why are
canceled
you in my
contracts.
ears again?
Yeah, what's up with that? I mean, like, it's the gaming is so popular in that country. Like, how are you gonna? You're just gonna smoothly move your mouse? You can't anymore. Did you just hit your face?
I was just gonna say that made me face like air
Last
so
player
hard
standing.
that I literally hit the mic. with
That
my
was
face.
awesome. What else we
I
got?
didn't think you were going there. Also, honestly, I had one that I was going to shout out, but I don't even want to. 'Cause
Spike
I don't
planted.
find it as interesting as a lot of other people do, which seems like a role reversal, but it's not. 23andMe just doesn't feel like getting.
Last round before the switch.
We cannot keep our goods after this.
Positive way to
Reloading.
Gemini. Like, oh my god, Google is back. Google stomped on OpenAI. Blah, 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 blah. And it's just they just watched the video and fell for it, which is going to become a much bigger problem in the era of AI stuff.
This is like people who saw Tesla's announcement that every shipping car starting today is going to be capable of full self-driving. And like, I remember I was talking to like a Tesla fan person in my life a little while back, and I was like, they still believed it. And I was like, dude, why? How could you possibly believe that? If you knew anything about computers and what they do and how they work and how powerful they were with the technology we had at that time, even if Tesla's processor design gave them a full generation, let's be generous, let's say 2 generations of performance ahead of what anybody else was shipping. And when I say anybody else, I'm talking people who were actually serious about AI, not just randoms. Like, I'm talking NVIDIA. If they were 2 generations ahead of NVIDIA, they were nowhere near being close to being able to handle every edge case. And unless this thing can handle every edge case, why am I putting it in control of my car? And now, I don't know, now that this is some peak emojis to the press instead of answering hard questions.
Switching sides.
I don't know if Tesla has ever acknowledged that hardware platform, whatever it was, is not going to be capable of their completely autonomous driving like they said it would. Like, how much are people gonna get for this class action?
Not enough, probably.
Probably not enough. Yeah, it'll probably just all go to the lawyers as usual.
I'm interested because, as Handyman is saying, they are actually quite far behind on production because the thing that they were trying to show off isn't even available yet, and won't be for a significant period of time.
We're talking about Google now?
And ChatGPT 4 was announced and in production a long time ago. At this point, in the scale of this AI stuff, it was a long time ago. So it's an interesting concept. Scar Glamour in Floatplane Chat said, I was on a web call with Google over AI in my industry. It was literally 2 hours of please God know that bars still exist. Reloading. Sounds quite likely. I had, this is off topic, but I'm going to ventilate it anyways. I had a call with a company. I'm not going to give any more details than that, and I'm not going to give enough for you to guess because I don't think we'd get there. But I had a call with a company this week.
Bethesda.
No. I had a call with a company this week where we had to renew a contract.
Boston Pizza.
And their email was like, we need to set up a call because we need to renew our contract. And I was like,
Neopets.
okay, sounds good. We sit on the call. Near the end of the call, and like it really feels like we're wrapping up. We're going through the standard rigmarole. Here's your new customer success manager. Here's your new this person. Here's your new this person. Here's your new, because you get new ones every time.
Last player standing.
And they're like, I'll be with you moving forward. And I'm like, sure, because I'll see a new one on the next call. Sounds good. But whatever. But near the end of the call, I'm like, hey, we're finally going to get to the contract portion. And the main person running the call is like, all right, now we'll book the next call so we can do the contract. And I'm like, what?
Reloading.
And they're like, yeah, we can talk about this other stuff first. And I was like, nah, let's just book that. And I'm going to get out of here. Like, what's happening? This call was to renew the contract. No.
Really?
Different company starts the same letter. That is exactly how all of those calls go, though.
Yeah.
So it wasn't them, but...
Okay. So it was a good guess, at least.
Yes, it was. All right. It's so annoying. I don't care. Just email me my list of currently updated contacts.
Can you tell he's not a people person? Like, you are a number to me.
Echo, use wingman.
You are a number in a revolving door.
That's the
I
problem.
couldn't care less.
If it was actually the same person all the time, then fine. But we get assigned these people in these roles. We get new people every 6 to 12 months.
Like, I had no problem.
We don't even have problems that often.
I had no problem building relationships with people back when I was a buyer. Like, I actually had to handle, maintaining relationships with people, which is not something that is my specialty. In fact, one of the core philosophies of Linus Media Group, or one of the foundational sort of
one enemy remaining.
Plans. Let's call it a plan. Was that I would just be so product driven that whether people liked me or didn't like me or had heard of me before or whatever, the product would be so good that it wouldn't really matter what they thought of me personally. They would just engage with us because it's a good product. And it's, you know what, it's not actually a terrible way to go about running a business. It's not the best way. Going back to the whole conflict of interest and backroom deals and inbred industries and all of that. That's a way to get ahead a lot faster. But build a great product and they will come is also tried and true. And the reason for that was because I'm not really a people person. I talk a good game, but I'm actually on my own time not. I've worked hard at it, but I used to be very awkward, especially in groups. I could be very shy. I think this is one of those things where Mr. Beast is kind of like my spirit animal because he's the same way on camera. He's like the most outgoing guy ever, but you talk to him, you would much rather talk to people one-on-one than be with an enormous group. It's one of those things where he's been a lot of YouTubers that I've met are like that, where people who got to the point where large groups of people wanted to hang out with us by sitting in a room by ourselves talking to a camera. And so it's one of those things where I'm always kind of blown away.
He's at the top of RAM.
Particularly successful YouTubers. And I go, holy crap, we're just cut from the same cloth, like all of us. and it's because we all started out, at least in the old days, right? Like nowadays, people aspire to be YouTubers, but that's not really how it started. So whenever I meet OG, it's like, yeah, because you're like me, because
30
you
seconds
started
left.
out just like with this being your way of talking to the world. So it's
One
the only way
enemy
you
remaining.
could do it. Anyway, I forget where I started with this. What am I talking
Pump us
about?
up. Let's hear it.
Something.
This happens.
Nobody knows anymore.
No.
Help me out, Floatplane chat. What was the point of
Sage
this?
spike,
I
please.
derailed us from Gemini.
Yo, Jekyll,
Yeah,
try
that doesn't help me.
Try
I
only to
started
use your
talking as a
wingman
people
support.
person.
Okay.
Oh yeah, right. I'm not a people player. Right. Thanks, Dan. I knew you were here for a reason. No, he's doing great.
That's
So
just the number.
so that was the key.
Right there.
But back when I was at NCIX, I had to do it. I had to do the whole schmooze thing. I had to like go to parties at CES and, you know, sit there awkwardly while other people drank alcohol because I don't drink.
That one sucks.
Yeah, you know what? I don't even find that it sucks anymore. I'm just like kind of over it. Because it's the tech industry. Like some people get like really wasted and uncomfortable and weird,
Yeah.
but most don't. Most are a bunch of geeks.
The only thing that bugs me is the insistence that you must also partake. And relax.
Yeah, I just started using the allergy excuse for alcohol too. Yeah, so I break out in a rash. You wouldn't like to see it, and you especially wouldn't like to see it because it's on my ass, and I'll have to show you. Like you can shut it down with humor, right? Yeah. But these are like coping strategies, right? That's not the kind of thing that comes
One
naturally
enemy
to me.
remaining.
I've heard now in our age bracket, the fun one is to just say that you're sober or you're
Recovering.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've had that one suggested to me. The problem is that then people ask you about your journey. Oh yeah, me too. And,
Oh no. Oh no.
And then you're outed.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah. So I just don't want to do that. So yeah,
I've never used it, but
I used to do the whole like, you know, relationship building with reps thing, and I don't mind it when people actually stick around. Like some of my
absolutely.
OG contacts in the industry, you know, like love Click from MSI or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But they're the people that, you know, the company manages apparently to treat well enough to keep them in that position. They're the people that are passionate about what they do, that they want to stay in that position.
My thing is like, it's just such a revolving door.
And
that
it can be.
It's most common that I've never even, like, I was introduced to this person, we never talked again, we never emailed back and forth, and then I'm introduced to a new person. And I'm like, okay, this is the only time I'm ever going to interact.
And those ones, I would get a hard time sometimes about like not going out for dinner with them. And I'm just God damn it! These guys reassign me a new rep every 6 months.
Yeah.
Why bother? I would actually rather just enjoy a meal
One
in
enemy
peace.
remaining.
Like put on a TV show on my
got a
phone, put in
bucket.
my headphones, and sit and eat and get some peace and quiet because I've worked enough today. And I don't consider the social aspect of work to be social. I consider it to be work. And that doesn't mean it can never be fun. It can be fun, and it can be something that I would prefer to do. And it can even be social, especially these days. But back when it was like almost exclusively hanging out with people 2 to 3 times my age, it was a little bit more of a stretch. Like, I don't mind hanging out with LMG people. I don't necessarily consider that to be work. I actually do it because I like it. Sometimes I don't get to do it, and I wish I was doing it. Like the writing department has our quarterly get together tonight. They always book it on Friday. Those f***s. Can somehow never make it because I'm somewhere.
Spike down A.
But anyway, back then I definitely had a very, very different take on it, and I just wanted LMG to be all about focus on the product, and people will have to they'll email me. Sometimes it happens by accident though, like, you know, D-Brand, for example. We have, I would consider, you know, I have friends at D-Brand, you know, it's not just like transactional, you know, here is sticker, thanks, give money.
Yeah.
Alright, what else are we talking about?
Okay, sorry, I'm dealing with something.
Spike down
I'm
A.
trying to figure something out.
He's present.
Last
If it
player
helps at all,
standing.
Emma, he's just as here as he is with you.
I'm doing actual work.
I'm doing actual work? What does that even mean? What kind of thing to say is that?
You're saying I'm not in here. I'm saying I'm doing work. Just, you know.
Right, so he bailed on me just like he bailed on you. This is our only socialized time.
That's your fault! Don't even. Don't even. Oh my goodness. Wow. Sheesh. McDonald's, quote, ask Pickles. Honestly, I have no idea what's happening. Google is helping McDonald's create a chatbot named Ask Pickles to help employees troubleshoot problems and push customers to buy more food. A little bit questionable on that last bit.
So, if there's a pause in the conversation, do you hold the pickles?
Satchel out.
Where's my bell down? There it is.
Oh man.
I've got your
In
trail.
return, McDonald's will give Google access to customer data from its apps. Of course they will.
Oh.
McDonald's has been experimenting with automated voice orders since 2019. They spurred TikTok memes back in February due to order bots replacing Diet Coke with 9 iced teas. What? Added butter and cream packets to an order of plain ice cream, and interpreted a request for 20 chicken nuggets as a request for 220 chicken nuggets. Oh my goodness!
I'm into the last one. Let's go. He knows what I really want.
Dude, that was our first. Was that
Our first company Christmas party, essentially. Yeah,
it was just a pile of chicken nuggets.
It was
they were on sale.
It was our first anniversary sort of. Let's do this, boys.
Yeah.
I don't know if Yvonne is ever gonna forgive me for us doing that without her. It was just spur of the moment. It was like, we're in CES, let's do one nice meal, and it kind of became.
It wasn't really an actual like.
Yeah, but it like became that when we did it again the next year, and she also wasn't there.
That's true. I wasn't gonna bring that one up.
We go.
We do it right now.
Yeah, we do. We do it up now.
Yeah.
Christmas party's friggin' awesome.
But yeah, that's McDonald's Ask Pickles. We're moving on. We're going to Grok now. The beta has rolled out to all X Premium Plus subscribers in the US. Do not use if you hate humor?
It's you and me.
That's on the site.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call that cringe.
I think that's cringe.
I think that's cringe.
I think that's cringe.
Okay, Boomer.
All right. I don't know. Is that cringe? I think that's.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's cringe.
All right. Moving on. Meta AI. Meta started publicly.
The more based you think you are, the more cringe you actually are.
Yeah, you have to be called based by an external party. It's like a nickname. You can't give it to yourself.
You can't decide you're cool.
Yeah.
You have like an external review board.
And your mom doesn't
You should
count.
run.
You're very based, son.
Thanks, Mom. You mean a lot to me. Cringe.
Oh my goodness. Oh boy. Okay. Meta started publicly testing more than 20 new features of its Meta AI assistant, including a free image generator called Imagine with Meta AI, and a language translation tool that maintains the speaker's vocal style called Seamless Expressive. They also showed off their updated relightable Gaussian codec avatars. Very cool. For VR/AR. It's even better than before, and it's wild.
Reloading.
Look at that.
I'm trying to sign into Facebook right now. I thought I was signed in on this computer, but I evidently am not, and it will take me a spicy minute to get signed in because I love insert current year.
Okay, hold on.
And how easy it is to sign into anything ever. Okay, what am I looking? Excuse me, what am I
I think
looking
this
at?
is AR person through the glasses, and then that's AR person on a monitor.
ISO's there.
So I'm going to do it again. AR person through the glasses.
Accurate at the hair strand level?
AR person on the monitor.
Wow,
that's actually insane.
I'll spike us down.
Spike down B.
And then I just honestly don't even know what we're looking at anymore. Wow, that's a recreation, isn't it? That's nuts. That's crazy. Okay. Wow.
I'd be afraid almost
That's wild.
look into a camera that copies my likeness with that degree of detail and accuracy.
Last player
I
standing.
mean, there's enough video imagery of me that it's not going to matter, but I mean you. She might not want to, like...
This part here is great.
Might not want your face digitally owned by someone else that accurately.
Whoa. They're using the hand control to move the light. Well, oh, that's nuts. All right, moving on. They also showed off their update. Oh, nope, that's the same thing. China wants synthetic TikTok girls.
What?
This month saw the publication of not one but two breakthrough models by Chinese and Singaporean researchers to generate video based on a still image and mocap data, so you don't have to look into the really fancy camera, apparently. The models have drawn criticism for being trained on TikTok videos of primarily girls dancing without their creators' consent. Magic Animate was partially developed by researchers from TikTok's parent company, ByteDance. Animate Anyone was developed by researchers from Alibaba Group. Discussion question: what kind of product / feature / experience do you think will bring generative AI fully into the mainstream? I don't know. I question, honestly, a lot of how much content is currently out there that is generated by AI that people don't realize. Somebody linked me a, you know how there's lo-fi beats and then there's like remixes by
2600 coming through ramp, through
somebody
mid.
linked me one that was a Lord of the Rings one.
Oh, backside.
That like
Last player standing.
it just has me questioning things, you know? I'm not certain. It might be generated.
Just sit.
I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't necessarily think the image is. The image might be. But I kind of think the music is. Because there's parts that, like, don't really flow right. And I'm just like, I don't know. And it doesn't flow right in a way that makes me think AI stuff, if you know what I mean.
Right.
I don't know.
I am finally signed in to Facebook. And brilliant.
That was accused to be very nice. That was accused to be totally fake. They just used TikTok videos to show what their AI could do.
Don't let up.
What? I don't know which part they're talking about, so I'm not certain. But yeah, it's things are getting weird. I don't think we know how mainstream things necessarily are yet, because I don't think we know what all is actually generated by AI and what isn't.
I mean, one thing that's super mainstream is pictures and videos of nude people, and we can talk about how AI has been used in that industry. The UK is trying to use AI age estimation through facial recognition. So not recognition of you, the individual, your face, but an estimation of how old your face probably is to age-gate pornographic websites, and is requiring these sites to, I believe it's either take ID from you or this AI age estimation thing.
He dropped.
I think there's one other one, and like
People are gonna have to go back to.
Things are getting crazy. Well, no, see, this is the thing that I think it was the Hub that brought this up the last time some American state was telling them, you know, oh, you need to do this for age verification or whatever else. Oh yeah, you need to start collecting people's IDs.
Yeah,
look,
weak link,
this affects
baby.
nothing because
Weak link.
some site hosted in Timbuktuistan or something is not going to follow any of these rules, and as long as the internet exists, you have absolutely no way of enforcing it with those guys, so they're just not going to do it, and then people will just not use our site and they'll just use that site, which is not a great excuse when obviously this is something that needs to be managed in some way, whether it's from a children way or whether it's whatever else, right? Anyway, long story short, having third parties collect IDs is really bad. Having even your own government collect a list of people who have accessed these sites is not much better.
Yeah, I mean, wasn't it Australia very recently had all their passport info leaked?
AI age estimation is obviously stupid, especially in a world where that thing you just showed me exists.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, sure.
Put the AR glasses right in front of the camera.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
But hey, there's iMessage on Android for real this time. Oh wow, it was blocked by Android. This is hilarious. 3 days ago, messaging company Beeper launched a new app, Beeper Mini, which featured
Of course. What do you expect? Well, before I do this, let me go into Prusa Slicer. I'm gonna slice me up some prints. Let me pull all of that shit back the fuck up and do it again. I'm gonna go to PLA instead. Jesse, PLA, support. For support, enforcers only. Let's go back here. Let's go to Pretty Penny. There's 4 controller stand. Grab this one, put it on there. Grab this one, put it on there. Grab this one, put it on there. Place that. And then let's go. Grab that one. For G code to there. Now let's go.
a message on Android without needing an Apple ID that is signed in on a Mac server farm somewhere. Apple as of this afternoon.
Watching. If you are with me, I'm with you.
Introducing your champion.
Cool. I'm the jump master. Enough lambing around. Let's explore that.
Sure.
People in the tunnel, 2 teams. We should be able to get all the way back out there alone, I think.
Next ring's far. If you're old or injured, bye. The battle happens quick. Be ready. A minute till the ring closes, and it's a walk. A long walk to you. Energy ammo here. I'll use that. Ring's far with 45 seconds to go. Backpack here. Level 1. Got some sniper ammo here. Energy ammo here. Outside the ring is where the stupid die. Let's get inside. Backpack here. Level 1. Thanks. Energy ammo here.
package being delivered.
You hear that? There's a care package coming down. Optics here. Energy ammo. Eva 8 here. Thanks. Car SMG. Nemesis here. There's a jump tower here.
Attention. There is a new kill leader.
New kill leader. Eyes out for him. Got some materials here. Got some prey right here.
Attention.
You got someone on you?
Appreciate it. Good. Jump in out. Got some materials here. After squad, our work food. Thanks. Got a hop up here. Skull piercer.
I'm going that way. Come if you want. My ultimate is locked and loaded.
Let's hunt over there. Taking fire. Here's your birthday present.
Come back if you can. They're following you.
I'm down. That's on me. Check it. Got some materials for us. Go and check it. Got some materials for us.
But now I'm all alone. Shooting all be about out of the school.
Has blocked the app. Beeper CEO Eric Nikikovsky claimed that iMessage was initially reverse engineered by a 16-year-old developer who then messaged him and linked him to a working prototype. Beeper's team then refines the process by jailbreaking an iPhone and figuring out how to register a phone number with iMessage, send messages directly to Apple servers, and have messages sent back to a user's phone natively inside their app. When asked for comment by The Verge, Nikikovsky responded that if Apple cares about the privacy of its users, it should want them to be able to send encrypted messages to Android users rather than unsecure SMS.
That's a pretty good argument.
Which is obviously not why Apple cares about iMessage. And anyone who thinks that that has anything to do with why Apple cares about iMessage is
It's good to throw in their face this way.
misled.
Yeah.
When I saw that, I was like, oh, so he's trying to put pressure on Apple to not brazenly reveal that they don't care. But the thing is, like,
I don't think it's going to work. But it's...
yeah, sorry, dude, but Apple's users are not capable of recognizing the hypocrisy of Apple's statements and Apple's actions. And Apple super, super, super doesn't care. The fact that they talk so much about privacy, and then if you like go down the rabbit hole of like where their server farms in China are and stuff, it's a whole thing. Apple gives zero fucks.
Yeah.
Like it's, I don't know, man. I don't know. I do know. They don't care. Yeah, this is a bummer because it seemed pretty cool. I think they were going to charge like $2 a month or $3 a month or something like that. Personally, I don't care. Like my Apple acquaintances, if they want more messaging features, can just get a messaging app. But apparently, depending on the region, it's like a huge deal or something. Yeah, honestly, the day my kid comes to me and asks for an iPhone, I'm going to say why. And if the answer is because my friends have iPhones, I will ensure that they never get an iPhone until they pay for it themselves. Absolutely not. That is the worst reason to want anything. If you want something because there's a compelling feature, because in your assignment work, you do a lot of something that requires spatial capture of something, and it would really help with, some extracurricular thing you're doing, and you're like, yeah,
Run fast, what if it's like kids like there is another way, but like, kids at school share notes using AirDrop or something. Because he would have to inflict like some amount of, maybe small, but some amount of societal change to get them to use whatever system he would prefer they use.
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, it's one of those things where, like, you can either be a leader or a follower, and I think, honestly, that's the conversation I'd have with them. Like, hey, that's honestly not the best way to do that, anyway. And so,
Sorry.
If
you help them, like, set up a better solution, and then just his job is now to prove that it's better.
Yeah, it's one at a time. And also, like, why aren't you taking notes? Besides, if you're the owner of the notes, then everyone should be coming to you for whatever your solution is, right? Like, it's be a leader, be a follower. There's only really two options. John says, bro, next time let me know I'm on speaker. Did I not tell him he was on speaker?
You said you were on the WAN show. You did not say you were on speaker. You said you were on the WAN show.
45 seconds, rings close.
Open chat was talking about it afterwards. You did say, like, I'm on the WAN show, which means you are too.
Yeah.
But you didn't technically officially say the words,
yeah,
you are on speakerphone.
Here. Okay, I'll go with the classic investor response. LOL. Nick says, you don't mind hanging out with people now because you're the one who's 2x everyone's age. Throwing back to that conversation. What a guy.
Got him. John did actually say hi WAN show.
Did he? Oh, yeah, got him then.
Yeah, I think he did. You said you're also on WAN show, and I think he said hi WAN show.
Boom roasted.
I still think you didn't technically say you're on speaker.
He might have also meant pass along hi to WAN show. It's like, hey, I'm with my wife. Yeah, okay, say hi, wife. Hi, wife.
But he didn't say.
No.
So you both left some things up to inference.
Yeah, maybe we should have had more AI. This is a really short one. The U.S. government warned NVIDIA about like working around their export restrictions. Basically, like, if you redesign a chip around a particular cut line that enables China to do AI, I'm going to control it the very next day.
Really?
Yeah. Wow. Like, that's a direct quote. Yeah, U.S. Commerce Secretary. Oh, jeez.
Commerce
I think that's it. 23andMe doesn't want to be sued. They sent a letter to users informing them of a change to its terms of service that forces users into arbitration and prevents them from suing if they don't opt in within 30 days. Last week, the company disclosed the severity of a data breach back in October, claiming that only 14,000 accounts were compromised. However, this week, It was revealed that these accounts were linked and could be used to access sensitive data from a total of 6.9 million people, including birth year, relationship to others, and self-reported locations. Brutal. And Apple and Google confirm push notification spying. U.S. Senator Ron Wyden has published a letter claiming that governments around the world are spying on user metadata through smartphone app push notifications. Apple and Google have confirmed these claims, with Apple telling Reuters that the U.S. federal government has prohibited them from sharing information about this data collection. Based on Apple's comments, it's likely that Wyden's letter exposing the practice has given them legal grounds to disclose the information without being penalized for revealing government surveillance methods. Crazy. When are they going to admit that the microphone is listening, and when you talk about stuff and they show you ads, it's because of that? Because, like, honestly, man, I swear, this is one of those things where they will cross their heart, hope to die that is not happening. But, like, I talked to someone about pizza, and it's like, pizza. Yeah, maybe there's other ways. Maybe it never happened. It feels that way, man. It feels that way.
Yeah.
All right, Wancho After Dark.
Did we talk about Windows 10 for 3 more years?
No, but I don't think we said we would.
Okay, sick.
Maybe we did.
I don't think we did. It wasn't the first one.
Oh no, this was something really cool. Okay, Microsoft has offered updates beyond their sunset for Windows to enterprise users many times in the past, extending them years, even like a decade plus, beyond when they officially stopped getting security updates, which raises some questions. Anyway, why not just let people run this OS?
The fuck are we doing shooting spiders, bro?
Move on. Let's move past it, because there are benefits to running newer Windows, I guess.
These are not the words you're looking.
But this is cool. They've never made that available to the general public before, but with Windows 10, they will. I just think that's really cool. They haven't announced pricing, but they will be purchasable 1 year at a time. According to StatCounter, Windows 10 is still 68% of desktop Windows versions in use worldwide.
This happens all the time. Just in case anyone's like, oh, Windows 11 sucks. But same thing happened with 8, same thing happened with 7.
Windows 11 fanboy right here. I don't have 11. Can't believe you use 11. You know what's really disgusting? It's not Wancho After Dark yet. Yep. Want it to be. Yeah.
Not my.
Man. I need one more person to buy a screwdriver shaft extension. What? Like, we're so close.
Oh, right.
But we're almost there. And add one other thing. Make sure you get something from the bonus bin. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so if you buy one shaft extension and then add something from the bonus bin, we're gonna be there. I'm gonna leave this up till that happens. I'm leaving it up. Wow, this is a small fraction of how many of these we sold.
Yeah, but that's just what went through merch messages.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay. Yeah, Noctua Edition. You guys seem pretty stoked on it. So that's pretty cool. I'm just gonna do it. I'm waiting.
Oh, and the stats are broken this week, apparently.
Oh. Oh, okay. Well, that explains it. Oh, no. Okay, don't add a bonus bin item. Don't add a bonus bin item. I mean, you can if you want, but just it won't be nice. You know? Okay, Mountain Dew.
Increase your page size?
Mountain Dew Raid AI. What am I looking at here?
I don't know.
I just need this number to go up by 1. Oh, wait. But if the stats are broken, then it might not go up.
You said you need to increase your page size to see proper stats, but I made it by accident.
45 seconds, ring spa.
They can't handle.
I give up. Oh, maybe if I refresh it. I need to refresh it? Oh, yeah, it's done. It's done. Here we go. We're done. Oh, no.
Let's go this way.
Whoa.
Isn't that exciting? I mean, I was pretty excited by it. Okay. Okay, yeah, let's see. There we go. Dang it. Second cart. Consolidated. So the second question, how will you be changing your final project approvals going forward? For example, full teardown of the final product, including cutting it apart. Not everything will be necessary to cut apart, but I'd say anything that has something inside it, yeah, we'll probably want to cut it open to make sure that all the things that are supposed to be inside it are in there. I mean, there probably would have been ways for us to non-destructively figure that out, but we just didn't think we had to check for that because all the samples were previously or had been done to spec. It's a mistake. It's one of those ones that's really frustrating because it shouldn't have happened. And yeah, we're gonna figure out what our processes need to look like. We don't have anything that we're imminently launching that would be affected by something like this, but the next time it happens, yeah, we're gonna be much better equipped. I mean, this is one of those things. You live and you learn and you do your best and you just kind of make it right for customers as best you can going forward, and you survive and you work and you learn some more, and then one day you wake up and you're a screwdriver company. It's been amazing, especially with how much hate there was and how much flack there was. It's been kind of funny to watch how many people said this would be a complete failure and how they have just vanished.
Yeah.
I have personally read hundreds, if not thousands, of comments about how stupid Backpack is, or Screwdriver is, or what failures they are, or what failures they were going to be. And I haven't found one from someone that was like, I'm wrong. Because that's haters, right? Like they fill up they hate, and if the hate's not accurate, they go hate something else, right? It's not about this. It's not about the warranty. It's not about the backpack. It's not about any of that stuff. It's about just being angry. And it's that's something that I sort of realized a while back, and it's given me a little bit more empathy for it, but it's still just like, yeah, I wish for a better, more happy life. What else we got?
DLL, what are your thoughts on the recently announced Ram Charger and EV truck with a gasoline range extender? Would you review or buy one if you could?
Not a truck guy. But I could see the office having a use for that. Just like we use the Volt all the time. I mean, it's pretty much the Volt. It's an EV with a gasoline range extender. And I don't think I need to do another whole thing about how much I love the Volt. It managed to generate a thread on the forum. Someone tried to pick apart everything I said about the Volt and like how stupid it was, and how like it's like heavier, so like you go through tires faster, like all this stuff. And I'm kind of sitting here going, there's two kinds of people in this world: people who love the Chevy Volt and people who have never owned a Chevy Volt. And there's zero overlap between those groups as far as I can tell. They basically got dismantled by someone else on the forum. Yeah, I love the concept. I think it's the right way to handle that balance between mining, the damage we do by mining precious metals, and the damage we do by burning fossil fuels. We minimize our burning, we minimize our mining, and we create this one vehicle that's like, obviously, environmentally devastating. There's no good way to do it. Yeah, tells himself otherwise, hitting themselves. But if we can help with it. Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh, and Linus, I got another message from Nick here, talking about the backpack stuff. For future, we've also already added experts in materials design, which will help with situations like this.
Yeah, I mean, we hired Tatiana, like, what, 6 months ago or something like that, so we've already... It's one of those things where...
expertise ahead of time.
By the time the scandal takes place, we've already implemented things that would help prevent it in the future, but they weren't there when that thing happened. Like, it... We're always trying to do better.
We're growing.
We are literally always trying to do better. And yeah, we're always trying to do better. That's simple.
And we'll make more mistakes. But
Music Mud asks, I bought a backpack right before the announcement on the show today. I got it credit.
Oh, got you. There's Linus seen Fanboys yet. I can't tell if it's a good movie, but I love it.
I haven't. My sister recommended it to me.
Yeah. I watched Clerks.
I have seen Clerks. No. I love Clerks.
I love Clerks as well. Fanboys was over.
Yeah, I read the synopsis, or like I read the like. Normally I don't, but my sister recommended it, and I love my.
Okay, done with that for now. Let's get rid of you. Get rid of you. Let's go to this guy.
The green protagonist comes in. Thank you very much for the $5. Greatly appreciated, sir. I have an i9 9900K FPC with a GTX 1080 Ti. Would it be worth upgrading the GPU or just running that combo into the ground? Today's video is brought to you by eWin Racing, the best source for gaming chairs and desks for those long gaming sessions. We have a playlist of our eWin chair and desk videos linked in the video description below. Save 30% off of everything using the discount code TechDeals. More details at the end of the video.
After what I've seen, nothing down there scares me.
Let's go for a ride.
This win is
Yeah.
ours.
Yes, it would. Anything up to a 3090 or a 4070 would be fine. A 7900 XT would be fine.
Introducing your champion.
Or an XTX if you just want the best. I wouldn't put a 4090 on there. I wouldn't put a 4080 on there. They'd be wasted. But
I'm the jump master.
Um,
AJ Shea leading the way.
you can absolutely upgrade that graphics card. Now the 1080 Ti is great. What resolution you're running at, what games
I
you're
like
playing,
this spot.
what refresh rate do you expect? Because if you're playing at 1440p, 60 hertz, high detail, and you're okay
Extend
with
the
that,
pipe in over there.
a 1080 Ti is honestly enough
Lovely
for a
idea.
lot of games today. Mostly. The 11 gigs of VRAM helps tremendously. But
Enough lambing around. We're dropping.
used 30 gigs can be had for under $400 on eBay right now. For like $370, a 3080 10 gig card will trounce that 1080 Ti by a lot. A 4070 12 gig is a little bit more, about $550. But you get a brand new card that wasn't mined. You get a brand new card that was mined, and you get the latest 40 series features with DLSS 3, you get all the other stuff that comes with 40 series, better encoding, etc. So if you don't mind, do that. Would I put a 4070 on a 9900K? Yes, if you don't mind the price. Or buy a new 3090. 3090 is probably cost too much. I mean, 24 gigs of VRAM is pretty nice. If you are enjoying your system, keep it. The 9900K is great. You don't have a long time with that left, though. It's not the cores, it's the security. You pretty much reached the end of BIOS updates on that platform, so you get another year or two before, maybe 2 years before that has to go. eWin Racing has a wide selection of chairs to fit all shapes and sizes of gamers, ranging from beginners. Suddenly, they have something for every type of gamer. Not just sizes, but colors and material options as well, including red, blue, purple, pink, orange, and more, plus cloth and leather choices. We have over half a dozen chair and desk videos in a playlist down in the video description below. We also have a very special offer just for Tech Deals viewers. Save 30% off of everything using discount code TechDeals using our link in the video description.
We have used Ewin gaming chairs for 3 years in our office, sitting on them for up to 8-hour marathon live streams. They are very comfortable, and we are happy to work with Ewin to bring you this special discount and recommend Ewin for all of your gaming chair and desk needs.
Activating jump drive. Let's head that way. I changed my mind.
Here are the 10 things that Americans find wrong here about European homes.
What do you think is over here?
Number one, the laundry situation. Having a washing machine next to your pots and pans in the kitchen or sometimes in the bathroom definitely makes us Americans do a double take. Most homes in the US have a dedicated laundry room or a utility closet or dryer or something that the washer and dryer are kept in. For many European homes, the washer or a combo washer and dryer is in the kitchen because that's where there is already some plumbing and electricity to be able to extend to the washing machine. Not only that, but some of the homes in Europe don't actually have a dryer at all, or if they do have one, it's smaller and it's used for washing their bed linens and things like that. Whereas in America, we're used to shoving like a cargo load of
from science or not harm the perception of justice. If it was, then alcohol and tobacco would be illegal. And I'm not advocating for that, but I'm just saying.
Does the city of San Francisco fund harm reduction programs?
Yes. The Department of Public Health has contracts with the nonprofits who then do the harm reduction work, yeah.
I believe this to be one of the key aggravating factors behind the harm reduction debate. So California's state income tax rate is over 13%, which is the highest in the nation, and that figure only increases with the harm debate. This has caused a mass exodus of California millionaires to other states. If you live in Austin for Nashville, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Big announcement. We are moving the entire company to Nashville.
Yeah, when they're testing someone will have a little bit more freedom.
The Golden State lost about 211,000 residents. Some people here in Las Vegas, they think of the strip and casinos, which is fine. They're 20 minutes away. It's one of the most amazing communities that I've ever been a part of.
And now, after raising taxes, California simultaneously decriminalized public drug use and began using the excess tax money to fund harm reduction services. So while the situation is much more complex than just, liberal policy failing California, it's very understandable why California taxpayers would be outraged watching these two things happen in tandem.
The taxpayers not going to keep putting up with this, to continue to use taxpayers' money to give paraphernalia drug addicts out here. You can't be the mayor of this city, like Mayor London Breed, and come out against public drug consumption, but in the same token, turn around and then ask the taxpayers to foot the bill for drug addicts to get paraphernalia. The Harm Reduction Coalition, or the Harm Production, how I like to call them, they're down on 6th Street, still handing out these this paraphernalia.
Hey, my friend is called back this side if you don't mind.
I'm just recording you guys, just seeing what you guys are passing out over here. I mean, you guys are passing out paraphernalia to addicts that are struggling. I just want to know why. And they actually go out here and they pass it out to the people that are struggling with addiction.
At some point, I realized I was missing a key element of the story. While these harm reduction programs are a frequent target of Fox News pundits,
Disgusting. Just people say they can make the smoking of crack cocaine safe. There's no safe way to smoke crack. Sooner or later, it kills you.
We should stop enabling our people from using drugs.
the reality is that San Francisco's harm reduction programs are actually kind of winding down. In 2021, at its peak, the city of San Francisco opened up a safe injection site in the Tenderloin.
The plan was to create a number of so-called wellness hubs around the city where addicts could consume their drugs while being monitored to prevent overdoses. In 1 year, the Tenderloin Center reportedly prevented more than 300 deaths.
326 people were brought back to life in just 1 year. Despite this, California Governor Gavin Newsom vetoed Senate Bill 57.
Governor Newsom vetoed a law this year that would have allowed pilot programs for supervised drug sites in San Francisco, Oakland, and Los Angeles.
This led to the shutdown of San Francisco's facility.
So if you look across the street, right, where this green board is at, right,
This used to be a harm reduction site. I worked there for about a year and a half. Remember when they first opened? That motherfucker was overly cracking. That's where you go get the fresh needles, you know what I'm talking about? If you overdose, they'll bring you back to life and send you on about your life. If you need a housing, they had housing resources. If you want to get a cool hygiene pack, you know, to get yourself right during the evening. As you can see, it's nothing there no more. They closed that motherfucker down. It was only open for a year. They talking about it was a temporary little test run for San Francisco. Now you got motherfuckers back on the street. Feel me? Open that motherfucker back up. You open that motherfucker back up. You ain't got to worry about no neighbors going to City Hall and complaining about some shit that they, you feel me, been going on before they time. Come on.
Moving on.
You support harm reduction like that?
For harm reduction all the way. I work full-fledged, man, motherfucker. Even the people out here asked them about it. They gonna agree with it too. Harm reduction was everything. Shit sure. Shout out to harm reduction. On anything, that motherfucker kept people heart beating and anything, man.
I'm very disappointed that Gavin Newsom has decided to take a political stance on what is a health issue. And so, you know, again, it is not easy to support people who use drugs, you know, because anytime you give people support and you're using drugs, you're considered to be an enabler, right? And that you're just encouraging this bad behavior. And drug use and drug, you know, disorders are a medical condition and should be treated as a medical condition. But instead, it's political volleyball.
It's now harder than ever for drug users in San Francisco to gain access to safe use supplies of Narcan, which, by the way, is getting more expensive because more people are dying from fentanyl overdoses.
You know, those packaged Narcan, the Neva one, cost about $150 per box of Narcan, of 2. Yeah. But injectable Narcan, like the vials that you could do injectable, is about $1.50. It's the patent on the actual device that delivers it to your nose that allows the pharmaceutical companies.
So the same company that owns the patent for the mechanism that sprays Narcan into your nose just paid out a $4.3 billion settlement for improperly advertising prescription pain medication. That company is called Teva Pharmaceuticals.
Teva Pharmaceutical has reached a $4.3 billion deal in a nationwide opioid settlement. According to the agreement, the Israel-based drug manufacturer will pay that money out to states, local governments, and Native American tribes.
Yes, the same company that helped spark the opioid crisis is now making Narcan more expensive to subsidize their payments to the state of Texas and local Native American tribes. However, it is still possible to gain access to free Narcan in the Bay Area. A nonprofit called Lost Souls Courier Collective, ran by bike messenger Antonio Chavez, offers free Narcan delivery 24/7, 7 days a week, anywhere in the city.
My name is Antonio Chavez. I work for Lost Soul Courier Collective. It's a nonprofit organization. We're legit. We're incorporated. This is something that I set out to do after a lot of friends and family passed away from drug overdoses and drug-related deaths. I lost a lot of people, like, and really, like, one after the other. You know, like, I just kept getting these calls and, like, in the middle of the night, like, yo, so they're going, you know, and that shit, it tore me up. And it really got me thinking, like, damn, dude, like, I've really treated a lot of people that I love the most in really terrible ways, you know, because the way that I've been, like, conditioned to think about these things.
Care package over there. Let's get on that.
My father gave me permission to talk to you guys about it, you know, like, he was on the pipe all of my childhood, you know? He was homeless for a while. He stayed in the tent, like, one of these, you know, like, screaming at the sky. One of those, you know? And, like, I remember being a little kid and, like, knowing that I had a dad, but knowing that he was out there and, like, really missing him. And I think, like, it did something to me when I was a kid. Like, you know, that classic thing, was it my fault? It's something that I did to him. Like, did he choose the drugs over me? Did he choose to get high over being here with his son, you know? And
heavy mag here. Level 2.
I feel like that's just the first immediate human response, is to be, like, offended and hurt because you feel like they're choosing, you know, over you. But now that it took my own drug use, me sitting in the house I grew up in, spun the fuck out, and I'm like, damn, that's how easy. It got me to how human we all are, you know? My grandfather died from complications from an overdose. You know, he was on a needle, he was on hot. And this is before I was even born, man. So, like, really trip off how heavy that is. Like, the drugs have been here. They, like, this whole thing with, like, this Fox News talking head, like, okay, Raw Ricky. Seen that, you know, I kept it real with the man right here. Dudes like that are, like, over here laughing and, like, pointing a camera like it's funny. There's nothing funny about it.
Is that a eye patch? A Dorito chip egg? No, them Lays. That's crazy. With the Band-Aid eye patch though.
This is death row, right here. You know what I'm saying? The streets of death row, and they're like busy, like talking about just say no, like that worked 50 years ago. That shit has been pumped into your head ever since you were a little kid.
Drugs. Kids do them.
Get Dare in your kid's school too. Just say no. Dare to be different. You know what I mean? Like.
Hey, you want to smoke?
No thanks.
Oh, I'm gonna tell everybody that you are a chicken.
That's okay, Paul. That's something I don't want to do.
Okay.
It's never worked. It didn't work 100 years ago in the Prohibition. You know, I have people that are staying outside my house.
Okay.
I try to be polite. I'm on harm reduction now. Like, I get what he's saying. Like, you come outside and you're like, fuck, man. Like, it's horrific. It's really hard to look at.
What is that? Is that from the train? You gotta kick that happened at fentanyl, brother.
But like on the other hand, you know, like he don't even know what that's like, bro. From what I understand, he was on powder. I don't know if he was on Chris. According to his case docket, he got caught with hella powder, like a pistol, some other like shady shit. He was on powder. He wasn't on hop. I've never been on hop. From what I understand, it's no joke.
What's the darkest place you found yourself throughout your addiction?
In that, man, sitting on a railroad track at like maybe 4 a.m., 5 a.m. in the morning, coked out, drinking some low-budget alcohol, and just woe is me type situation.
Have you ever shot dope or like smoked meth?
No, I haven't done those.
For him to just be like, why, you know, like with his camera out, like, why you living like that though, bro? There's one where he's like, look at you with your booty cheeks all out, like, astute observation, Mr. Ricky. Like that's, anybody with eyes can see that this is like, yeah, it's an awful situation. But like pointing that shit at people and like shaming them and making fun of them, and like using it as this like clickbait, you know what I mean? This like dope fiend clickbait. It's insane to me, and it's really like, it's grotesque, dude. You know, people everybody on that side of the fence says abstinence is the only way.
It's zero tolerance, man. We gotta have zero tolerance. We cannot do this. We gotta put the lights on and tell them the party's over. You know the party's over here in San Francisco. We don't want no more tents. We don't want no more drug use. We don't want any of that.
Okay, you guys have made mistakes before, right? I highly doubt that anybody from outside of the place has never gotten high with. And with fentanyl, you know, it's this thing where you might not even know that you're taking fentanyl. If you don't know what you got and you're not used to opioids, that's it. You're done.
At 22 years old, Sawyer Post made a mistake. He tried Percocet, a prescription painkiller.
The Percocet itself was laced with fentanyl. Unfortunately, my son.
Versa says she believes this was Trinity's first time trying drugs.
9-year-old died from a fentanyl overdose.
Where's the just say no aspect in that? You know, like where's the room for error? There is none. What they're saying, you know, especially now, always been the case, just say no has never worked, and especially now, it's costing people lives. This is what really is, right? We had a safe consumption site. I don't know what the gripe with that is, but the safe consumption site is going on. And it's this thing where it's like, dude, you guys say you don't want to see people shooting up and lighting up in the streets, and then they give them a place to go to do it because it's a medical, like, now it's a place. People use drugs for you know, recreational use, of course, yes, but also there's another part of it where that's completely ignored, you know? With the like elimination of the safe site, it doesn't seem like there's another safe site coming anytime soon, you know, and it sucks because they know what works. They know that works, you know, like, it keeps people alive, like, I don't know, man, it's desensitizing, it's hard to find the humanity, like, bring the humanity back to people who, on one side, have never experienced it. I've only thought to go off. Don't really know what that life is about, don't know what that pain is.
Another squad coming in.
You have people like Raw Ricky, and people that have, like, grown up in, you know, in turmoil and in fucked up situations where shit's real, and that's the kind of shit that happens on a daily basis.
Well, I grew up in a household where there was a lot of drug use, and it had a negative impact on my life.
I was the same way. Like I said, the first time I seen somebody shooting up, taking a kid to school, I must have been no older than my son. I must have been like a tiny little kid, seeing it a lot, you know, and you learn after a while, you learn to just step over it. You just get desensitized, like, oh well, fuck, that's the life they chose. Like, it took me losing people to be like, damn, dude, like, if I could talk to them right now, like, I just close my eyes and I like talk to them in my head right now, and I want to apologize, you know, I'm like, fuck, man, like, if I could talk to people that I'm thinking of, I'm not gonna say their names, I would be like, you know, fuck, man, like, I'm sorry, bro, I'm sorry I said all that shit, I'm sorry I treated you the way I did, and I know that he'd be like, it's all right, bro, I know you love me, and I know that's what it is. Like, at the base of all of that, it's really hard, but it's, you know, if you want people to do the best for themselves, you want people to, like, live the life that you think they should live, and, you know, sometimes you gotta make excuses with that, but that's never gonna happen. People are gonna die out of it, you know, and all I can do is try to give people what they need. You know, if the Narcan that I bring to somebody to save their life so that they can live one more day, you know, do I want people to, like, quote unquote get clean? Do I want people to be safe? Is the better question, you know? One thing is for sure, dead people cannot recover. That's for certain, you know? You don't know what people are gonna. I don't think that people should be judged on what they do anyway, what they on drug use anyway. I don't think being abstinent should be a requisite of whether you live or die, you know? Straight up just like that. And this, like, abstinent is the only way, like, you know, what the fuck? You think I'm fucking telling people to get high? You think I'm, like, advocating, like, hey, kids, you guys should get high? Of course, like, what the fuck? Of course not. Duh. Like, duh. You know, I don't use. But that doesn't mean that I have to, like, now in my life. I haven't touched a pipe. I haven't touched a drop in 3 years, man. And I've gone through a lot of shit in this year. I lost my brother, my mom, and my grandmother all in the same year. Fuck yeah, I wanted to get high. Absolutely. And I did. But, like, I get now that, you know, I remember when I remember when my pops was like, and I remember, like, when I got home, I was like, what the fuck? Like, I came home and I was like, fuck, man. Like, the house was dry. And I just got out of prison. It was like, you know, I come home to fucking hell. And I was so fucking mad at him. I'm like, bro, you were doing so good. How could you fucking, you know, how could you do this? All of it. And then I remember my brother caught his face, when he caught his face in 1 year prison, and they were talking about giving him 4 years, and I remember being pissed, shitty drunk, high as fuck, in the rain, crying in the rain, and I was like, damn, it's that easy. How human we all are.
As you know, I've really never used this platform to solicit donations for a cause, but in this particular instance, I think it's my responsibility to do so. So the gentleman that we just interviewed, Antonio Chavez, who runs that nonprofit called Lost Soul Courier Collective that delivers on-demand Narcan for free to almost every neighborhood in San Francisco, is actually in danger of losing their business, their warehouse space, and so forth. So in our first episode, we talked a bit about how San Francisco rent is skyrocketing as a result of zoning laws, big tech displacement, etc. Well, that's actually happening to Antonio. So the rent in the warehouse to store the Narcan just actually quadrupled. And so in order for them to keep their business afloat for the next year, they need to raise a minimum of $50,000 to adjust to the new cost of operating. If you could help out, I'd really appreciate if you could go to their GoFundMe. I'm going to put the link here in the description. I'm personally going to pledge about $2,500. So if we as a community could kind of come together and help raise that money, I think that it would mean a lot because, you know, from what I've heard from many of you guys in the comment section thus far, there's a real desire to actually want to help beyond just like awareness. You know, I think it's great to be aware of stuff going on. Obviously, that's my job, is to raise awareness as a journalist, and I'm not claiming to be an activist, but I also think that awareness kind of has a ceiling. I mean, you can be aware of, you know, the worst thing happening on Earth, and it really wouldn't make much of a difference unless you're willing to actually contribute time, or if you can, funds to the right place. It would really mean a lot if you guys could donate, because Antonio needs your help. Thanks.
Fuck the authority. Channel 5 News. Channel 55. We don't fuck with dusters.
We finally have the bunker submerged below grade in my backyard. Super exciting times, but now that we're below ground, we have to worry about the water. Whether it's rain, sprinklers, snow runoff, water can cause extraordinary damage to metal over time. Not to mention all the electronics I want to keep inside. Wouldn't be too happy about any leakage. So it's time to waterproof some things. I'm not too worried about the steel bunker tubes themselves, since they're covered in something that's called trench coat that can last more than a century underground. However, we did burn away a significant amount of that coating while welding on the flanges, so we do that. It's the exposed metal that needs to be coated so it doesn't corrode away. My bunker and we gotta move quick before the snow comes. Let's get started.
If you've enjoyed this project and want the kids in your life to make cool things but aren't quite ready to tear out your backyard yet, might I present KiwiCo, a longtime channel sponsor that gives the gift of discovery, learning, and experiences that last far beyond the holidays. KiwiCo introduces science, technology, engineering, art, and math in fun ways. Designed by experts, KiwiCo has shipped more than 50 million crates worldwide. Crates that are full of fun, innovative projects like this programmable music box. My wife and I prefer giving KiwiCo subscriptions for birthdays or holidays because they are gifts that keep on giving. Monthly hands-on projects delivered right to your front door. With 9 different items to choose from, there's something for every interest and age, from newborns all the way up to grandkids. This music box is part of the Eureka grapevine, which leans towards engineering and design. Kids ages 12 to 100, and even at the cool maker's site with lots of historical information. Like music boxes were once the only way to listen to music without human performers. And music box building is definitely a good skill. Use code JERRYRIG to get 50% off of your first month. I assure you it is far less expensive than building a bunker in your backyard. KiwiCo.com/JerryRig. Let's get back to work. Having only one entry and exit point of a bunker is kind of a bad idea. If one entry gets blocked, broken, or caved in, the bunker becomes more of a tomb instead of a shelter, which is counterproductive. So since we have the large elevator shaft at one end, we're adding a second, smaller exit shaft with a ladder at the far side of the culvert.
Wish us luck. We're gonna try and flip this thing.
With all the timing of the large excavation equipment and our rush to get the bunker buried before the snow falls, we found it easier to just weld a large metal sheet together out of 3/8 plate and drop that into place with the crane while it was still here. We only cut the hole for the exit door out of the sheet after it was welded to the bunker, so we could ensure that the door would be completely level.
Can you go about 63? Probably 60.
There's gonna be a saw blade coming through right here.
The blade we're using to slice through the 3/8 plate is tipped with carbide teeth that are specifically designed to cut through steel. Carbide is a level 8 on most scale of hardness, while steel is about a level 4. The blade wins every time. We will add the shaft portion of the outside exit shaft after we start filling up the hole a bit, once the excavator has more room to move around again to do the heavy lifting for it.
You and me. Let's take this win.
This will be on our side, Fly Fighter.
weighs so much. That is so heavy.
Introducing your champion.
Watch out! Here I come, brothers.
Ooh, even I puckered up when you got shot down. Ouch.
Hold your breath. If you have a respiratory system.
Beginning ring countdown. Pay attention, some of us aren't inside the ring.
We have to grind away the coating on the inside of the tube once again to weld bare metal. And we use lasers so that everything is level. The green laser beam gives us a consistent mark across both sides of the tube so that during the apocalypse nothing will be offset.
With the door level, we use the metal sheets lined up to where the floor is going to attach the bunker walls. This also needs to be pretty level. And we have to wire wheel away the black plasticky waterproofing trench coat on the inside, so that the metal plate has something to weld to.
And at the end of this project, this bunker will be wheelchair accessible and the floor is level. Someone in a wheelchair will just roll off into the far. So, level floors are more important than you might think.
Before we can start waterproofing anything, we have to get some of the metal from the flooring welded to the wall. Since these particular pieces are connected directly to the tube, and the welder will burn through the trench coat, and we need to recoat everything that burned away before adding dirt back into the hole.
So super tricky. The exterior coating on this thing is supposed to last underground for like 100 years, but when we're welding the floor on the inside, the welder is using so much electricity and heat that it burns through the coating. That's why it's not like perpetually burning, but it's still pretty difficult. This is what I was talking about earlier when I said we have to recoat the exterior stuff that got burned away. Better to do it now while there's not dirt covering the bottom half of the pipe. And I think it just sounds super cool. Listen to this.
It's actually kind of difficult walking around on the slippery, helically corrugated pipe walls.
Heal for my drone, bro.
12 feet in diameter, and there is plenty of curvature. I'm still looking forward to getting the floor. Once it's installed, we'll have so much more room to move around, and having the floor means we can start storing stuff underneath. And all the cost of this metal was included in the price I gave last time. I have no idea why my welder is puffing smoke rings better than Gandalf in the Shire, but I'm here to.
All the way over on this end of the bunker, this metal sheet is bare that we have to coat. The stuff that's burned away right here we have to recoat. And if we walk this way, the middle seam, which we've cinched together with the bolts inside, we gotta coat this line, and this line, as well as all of this bare metal here. Once we weld this entire seam, it's gonna be watertight, but once again, we still have to coat the metal. The galvanized stuff, don't gotta worry about that. And we have waterproof construction adhesive along each seam. And Graham down there is taking care of the corners. Graham is currently welding the outside seams, making sure that it's watertight. We are currently in the elevator shaft. To join the entry shaft up with the bunker itself, we're using something called a mag.
which uses an electromagnet to hold itself to the bunker wall while it drills a massive hole through the entry shaft and the bunker itself, which we can put a bolt through to cinch the two sections together. At the moment, we have 4 EcoFlow Delta Pro batteries down here in the bunker, running all of our power tools, charging our batteries. They give us about 12 kilowatt hours worth of electricity, which is more than enough to run all of our tools at the same time.
Even though the bunker weighs about 1,000 pounds, we're using ratchet straps and concrete blocks to hold it down, so when we start pulling gravel underneath the haunches, it doesn't start rising up out of the ground.
That's not going anywhere.
The straps are only temporary and not structural, of course. Once there's dirt packed on top, the bunker's not going anywhere. We just gotta keep it moving while the dirt gets packed. We do have a strip of rubber between both halves of the Culver bunker, and we're adding waterproof construction adhesive to either side of that piece of rubber. There will be additional exterior piece of rubber and a large metal strap that we'll add later. We're fairly confident no water will be ingressing at this seam.
The material we're using to coat the bare metal on the bunker is called high mill Sure-Tar, and it is incredibly nasty stuff.
It's a 2-part epoxy just like all those beautiful wooden river tables you see on Instagram. But instead of aesthetic perfection, this is more apocalyptic protection.
It's basically epoxy mixed with refined coal tar, and it's used to keep metal from corroding in extreme environments, like out in the oil fields or offshore drilling rigs. It can handle salt water, chemicals, and is extremely abrasion resistant. It's industrial grade stuff, and the high mill part of the name means it gets applied very thickly and we only have to do 1 coat. Luckily here in Utah it's still above 50 degrees because there is a temperature requirement for it. Once the epoxy gets mixed up with the coal tar, it has to sit for an hour, and then we can paint it directly onto the bare metal. Like I said earlier, we don't have to paint the trench coat covered tubes or the galvanized sheet metal, just the bare steel components that we made ourselves. This coal tar should allow my bunker to survive 100 years underground, so make sure you hit that subscribe button and we'll check back in a century to see if it works.
I assure you this smells exactly like you think it does.
Here I go.
You kill leader. Go on, watch out. We're spread out a bit much.
The ring is close. Hostile over there.
Bunker is bolted up, welded up, sealed shut, and strapped shut, which is perfect because it just started raining and I definitely need a new shirt. And we are finally ready to bury the bunker, which means this is the last time that you can buy your exclusive jar of dirt from 18.5 feet under my backyard. Dirt that hasn't seen the light of day for a million years.
Iris Julia 110.
Side note, I've randomly
Face
placed
savoring
1 ounce
delicious
bars of
food.
silver inside a few of the jars of dirt. I have about 25 of
Giving
these
my shields
because I
a
think
recharge.
everyone has
What?
a small hope that they find buried treasure at the bottom of any hole that gets dug. And remember, if you don't happen to get a bar of silver in your jar of dirt, the true treasure is the knowledge we made
Iris
along
Julia
the way.
110.
It is time
Emo
to make the bunker
39250
disappear and for my
Bieber
wife to get her yard back. I'll see you next week.
Hello everyone, Scruffy
Okay,
Paul here,
gangster.
and I'm really looking forward to
Iris
seeing my beard
Julia.
on Saturday
One
during our Extra Life Trading live stream. Today's video is going to serve as a vehicle for 2
that
messages
guy's
delivered to you guys.
too.
First is, if you missed the Black Friday and Cyber Monday deals extravaganza, fear not, because there are still deals out there. And in fact, the busiest shopping day of the year usually is not Black Friday and Cyber Monday time. It's usually within the first week or 2 of December. So I have pruned and
Iris Julia
updated my
110.
deals spreadsheet. That
How
is
are
linked
you?
in the video description down below.
I'm
not
good.
gonna
How
go
are
into
you,
this
Iris
video,
Julia?
so check it
Face
out.
savoring
We're still
delicious
looking
food.
to
Face
put together a
savoring
PC
delicious
to
food.
give
Face
yourself some
savoring
upgrades that are
delicious
still
food. Face
some great
savoring
deals out there.
delicious food.
Such
Face
as the
savoring
Ryzen 7
delicious food.
7800X3D over on Newegg, which you can get with a $10 promo code, and they have this special deal going on right now where if you sign up for a firm, which maybe you don't want to
Iris
do, but you
Julia
get 50%
110.
off site-wide. If you
I'm
add
also
that
good.
stuff like
Thanks.
the 7800X 3D or like this RX 6700
I'm just
XT
trying to
for
get the
$320,
fuck
it
out
brings the
right
price down to below $300 for that one. So there it is, you guys. Get yourself some deals. Those links do use my affiliate codes, so thank you very much for your support. Secondarily, I have a bit of a logistical situation to deal with because thanks to a couple projects that I have coming up real soon, as well as those Black Friday and Cyber Monday deals that I took advantage of, I've had a bunch of things
When I get
arrive.
up there, I
Just a
can get
moment.
into the
As
little
you can see,
flipper.
lots of packages have arrived, so I would like to open
Just
them up.
go
Iris
into the
Julia
side.
110.
I have a name for that segment.
Emote
It's called
39250 Boomer.
Boomer, my boomer.
Today's video is brought to you by the Tower 200 series cases
I'm gonna
from
get
Thermal.
the
Featuring a
slipper,
vertical tower design
and I'm gonna
with
be
a
Iris
way
Julia
out.
110. Also check your Discord.
The Tower
I don't
200
have
can support
Discord.
Iris Julia 110.
including the RTX
Do you
4090
stream daily?
without compromising airflow, thanks to an
I
abundance
don't
of
stream
filtered
daily, I
ventilation
stream
panels,
whenever
and it
I
also
have a
supports
chance,
280mm AIOs,
multiple
standard
times
size
a day,
PSUs, and a full
sometimes
separately
a
3.9
couple times
inch
a
LCD
week.
panel kit to
Holy
personalize your
fuck.
rig or display useful system stats. It's available in black,
Alright, I
snow,
gotta
or
get
silver
around
with
this.
shades of green. So for more on thermal cakes, the Tower 200 series cases.
Be able to drop this? Come on now, give me an area.
So I'm gonna try to split these
Yep,
unboxings
alright,
into
I
three
got that
categories.
dropped.
The first category is stuff for you guys.
Go
Those are
into
gonna be
here.
things that are up for giveaway, or
Iris
things that are
Julia
part of the
110.
giveaway system that's being
Great
given away.
face savoring
to help support our
delicious
Extra Life Charity live stream. It's gonna be going on
Take
December
that.
9th. That's on Saturday, very, very soon. But you don't have to wait for Saturday. The
that,
giveaways are
that.
actually
That'll
already
get me
open,
out
and if you
for
click
sure.
the link-free link down in the video description, you can find links and details for all of them, and you don't have to donate to enter.
Another
You
one,
just have to visit
that'll
the
get me
donation
out.
page. But if you can donate, it's to help support Children's Miracle Network hospitals,
Oh, yeah,
your
take
Extra Life,
those.
which is a
Let's
great
go.
cause. But feel free to start
Let's
entering
go.
right away. We have some really cool giveaway
We're
stuff
moving
up for
now
grabs. I'm
around
gonna start
this.
with
Let's
this
see what we
package.
can
I think
do.
This is a unique thing that maybe
I'm
you've
out.
never even
I'm
seen
out.
before.
I'm
We're gonna help
out.
to build them up
I'm
for
moving.
December.
I'm
You
moving.
thought
I'm
we'd build a
moving.
system,
I'm
about a
moving.
$2,000
I'm
system
back.
with a
I'm
7800
back.
XT and
I'm
an
back.
RX 7900 XT graphics card. AMD has reached out to me to offer
Baby.
some support for giveaway
Look at
stuff
that
to
move.
support our charity
The
live
outside to
stream.
the
But they
inside.
offered an
The
extra
inside to the
unique
outside.
item that they thought
30
might
seconds.
be a desirable giveaway item that's a little bit
Oh, no, we ain't doing this none, Paul. Paul.
It just picks me up now.
Let's go back
Only
up
10
here.
seconds left.
Brian Tong, what's up?
Patch me up, though.
What's up, Brian Tong here, and I was gone for a week on vacation in Hawaii, and I took a whole lot of spatial videos with the iPhone 15
Okay,
Pro,
let's
so
go.
I hope I get to see what they end up looking like, because right now they just look like regular videos on my iPhone. Now, in this week's Apple news, Apple's spring
Nobody's
plans
been
for the
out
iPad
here.
and MacBook are revealed. iMessage comes to Android, and it actually works, and iOS 17.2 thrive as early as next week with some new features that we just found out about. So let's start with the
That I
latest
want
report from
there.
Bloomberg's Mark Gurman, who's really, to me, separated himself as one of the definitive sources for leaked Apple information now. And in his latest report, Gurman says Apple is planning to launch 2 new iPad Airs and 2 new OLED iPad Pro models early next year. Now, the iPad Air is expected to come in 2 sizes for the very first time, with a smaller model at the standard 10.9 inches, and the new edition will be the larger 12.9 inch version that we have talked about here a few times. Now, this is really, to me, a classic Tim Cook, offer them at every screen size and hit every price point classic move that adds more variety to the lineup, and it's been successful for the iPad, obviously. Now, Apple will also release the new iPad Pro lineup.
Okay, where can I
Features
get
the
these guys up
long-rumored
at?
OLED display, and it's the first time that we've seen an OLED
Nowhere.
display this large on any Apple product.
There's no place to get you guys up at?
Black, more vivid color, better power efficiency, and the OLED displays will be exclusive.
Let's find a mobile respawn.
Gurman also reports the high-end iPad Pro will feature the new M3 chip based on the new 3nm technology, and with that, obviously a boost in graphics performance like it did for the Mac. Now, the iPad Mini and the entry-level iPad Mini are expected to be updated this year, but it's still not clear if it will happen at
I
the
need a
same
mobile
time
respawn.
as these new Airs and Pros. Now, we also know Apple's expected to announce a new Apple Pencil and a new Magic Keyboard for this generation. So not that kind of stripped-down one we saw, but an all-new one. The keyboards will reportedly have a sturdier aluminum frame, and when used with the iPad, it'll look more like a laptop, so a redesign, something slicker and sleeker, that could be cool. But the reality is that sales have suffered from the lack of new iPads in 2023, but
Iris
I
Julia
think it was a
110.
smart move to not just
Emote
put out a video for
1730769
update
emoji
per
DJ.
product that most people, let's be honest, how often do you refresh this? After 3 to 5 years or even more?
Now, government expects that they will launch around the end of March, and at the same time, Apple could release iOS 17.4 and iPadOS 17.4. And you've got to imagine that this event would be separate from the Apple Vision Pro launch that is also set for early 2024, whatever that really means to Apple. So the focus would really just be on the Vision Pro for that event, but your guess is as good as mine right now. But that's not all. Mark Gurman also says that updated 13-inch and 15-inch MacBook Airs are also in the works for potential late March release. Well, the MacBook Air is where I tell everyone to start when they're looking for new laptops. That's the base. Like, look there first, and then look around. You can go up based on your needs, if it's screen size, more power, more storage. But the successful redesign with the 13-inch Air happened in 2022, and then you got the larger 15-inch that was introduced last year. But don't expect any major design changes, and they don't need to, but I would like to say some cool new colors. The Air is a little more consumer-based, a little more student-based. Like, could we revisit a dark purple, like the iPhone 14 Pro? Or be bold, right? Just throw it out there. You want the metallic matte red finish. Who wouldn't love that? But the more I think about it, like, let's be honest, the big bet should be on space. Now, the big update will be the internals here, and it's a no-brainer that the next generation Airs will be updated with the M3 chip. It's a faster chip based on raw speed tests, but then, you know, with my test, when it came to real-world tests, at least for video export, which is honestly the most relevant use case in my workflow, the difference is really only in seconds, so I still haven't upgraded to anything yet. But it will have significantly improved graphics performance with its next GPU that Apple is showcasing. Gurman also says Apple is developing the new Mac alongside development of macOS 14.2, and the new MacBook Air could possibly start shipping around the March timeframe as well. So it's possible that an iPad and MacBook Air launch could happen at the same time. Combine those together, and then Apple Vision Pro will get its own launch sometime in the first half of early 2024. Look, this is wild. That's just to start the year, all right? Now let's talk about what's buzzing with some of the tech community right now, and that would have to be the Android app called Beeper Mini. Blue Bubbles and iMessage compatibility have finally come to Android with Beeper Mini. I've used it, and it's actually good, right? It's more than good, and I don't miss a beat when I'm using it on my Pixel 8 Pro. I'm using it on the phone, yes, I do. So, look, what does Beeper Mini really do, and how does it actually work? Well, hey everybody, this just in. It appears that Apple has indeed closed the door to stop the Beeper Mini's access to iMessage on Android, putting a stop to any Blue Bubbles on Android devices whatsoever. Beeper Mini quit working earlier today. Users were receiving a fail to look up on server error message, and Beeper CEO told TechCrunch that all their data suggests that Apple has in fact found a way to stop Beeper Mini from working. We kind of anticipated this would happen, but Beeper Mini, gone before we knew you. All right. All right, let's get back to the show. All right, let's jump on to some iOS 17.2 news. Apple has seeded the release candidate versions of iOS 17.2, iPadOS 17.2 to developers, along with the rest of the operating systems, which typically means that the public is going to get their hands on it next week. Now, I recently did a video on some of the new big features that we can expect, so you can check that out on the channel, and it is a significant upgrade when you go from a 17.1 to 17.2. You got the introduction of the new Journal app for journaling and tracking how you're feeling. You have spatial video recording.
Not like that. Bring up Persa Slicer. Return Brimon. I'm gonna. Put this there. Let me go. Use the wrong man.
detected.
The Apple Vision Pro, it only works on the 15 Pro and 15 Pro Max phone. Then you get the action button, it finally gets the translate option. Messages let you jump to the first unread message in a conversation. There's new weather widgets and other things, but there's also been some new features we haven't heard about until now that were just revealed. So iOS 17.2 will bring support for the next generation of Qi 2 wireless charging to the iPhone 13 and 14 models. We know that iPhone 15 models already support it. So that means the older 13 and 14 models will work with the new standard that incorporates a magnetic power profile for better alignment, basically MagSafe, but for the masses. Now, Qi 2 supports up to 15 watts wireless charging, but it's not clear if Apple's going to support that faster wireless charging speed. Currently, if you look at Apple documentation for the iPhone 15 lineup, it says that its device will support up to 7.5 watts. The new Qi 2 standard, that goes up to 15 watts max. Now, come on, Apple. Just unlock the 15 watts already, like make it happen. It's really easy, and don't hold out, but then make it a new feature for the 16 lineup. I mean, see, even saying that out loud made me realize that that is something that they would do, but you know what? I'm gonna go in thinking positive, good thoughts instead that they will do this out of the goodness of their heart. Now, the first Qi 2 charging accessories are expected to launch this year during the holidays. Also with iOS 17.2 and watchOS 10.2, they're finally bringing the promised ability for Siri to access and log your health data. Now, this is one of the new features promoted during the Series 9 and Ultra 2 product launch, where you can ask Apple Watch questions like, how much sleep did you get? Or how far are you to closing your ring? A lot of different health data. It still hasn't been implemented, but will be soon with these upcoming software updates. And it's been one of the reasons that I've waited to do my full review until the final form of the watch was ready. You got the double tap gesture for the Apple Watch that also came out after the announcement, along with name drop for sharing your contact info. They both went public at the end of October with the watch OS 10.1 release, so just look out for a more comprehensive review here in the future. But the new Apple Watch models will finally feel complete in the next week or so with these updates. And then I did talk about name drop briefly. Well, check this out. In iOS 17.2, a new name drop-esque like feature will allow you to quickly share boarding passes, movie tickets, and other wallet app passes with another phone user nearby. So you'll open up the wallet app, you just tap on the pass you want, you share, and then get your phone close to another, and the share button will let you send it over via AirDrop. Now, both phones need to be on iOS 17.2, but it's another way to share information in a faster, pretty cool way. Okay, now this next story, if this makes you feel old, it shouldn't, but if it does, then you are old in your mind. Apple's first iPhone SE is now vintage. Apple recently added the original iPhone SE to its obsolete products list, so that came out in March of 2016. So it has been 7 years since the SE launched, but its legacy still lives on because the current iPhone SE is still the only one left with a Touch ID button until they get rid of it. But being vintage means that Apple no longer guarantees that they can be repaired if the parts are not available. Now, Apple also made the second generation 12.9-inch iPad Pro vintage as well, so it's like spoiler alert for Apple. And since we're talking SE, a report from MacRumors claims that the upcoming iPhone SE 4 may end up using the battery that is currently in the iPhone 14. Now, according to them, partially assembled prototypes of the 4th Gen SE that is in development is using batteries with the same model number used in the 14, and internal documentation also confirms this to be true. And that's a good thing because it would bring a larger battery for longer battery performance. No shame in that. All rumor reports believe that the new iPhone SE will feature an iPhone 14 base design. Makes sense with this 14 base battery. It will also bring the action button and a USB-C port, and will have a Face ID camera on top, and will remove Touch ID. Now, it is still uncertain if it will be released anytime soon, so there's not an estimated timetable, but it is currently in development. And I know there's a lot of crossover between the Apple fanboys and the Tesla worshippers, so you're all going to love this next one. the Apple Podcast app appears to be coming to Tesla as a standalone app. No CarPlay needed. I mean, you all wish there was CarPlay in it, but just an independent podcast app. Now, according to the new leak, in an upcoming software update, the Tesla Apple Podcast app will have proper playback controls. Apple Music came to Tesla a year ago, not podcasts, but the music app. And if you were hoping that CarPlay would come next, I don't expect that anytime soon. But now, if y'all listen to my weekly AppleBits XL podcast, you're gonna be able to do it very soon in your Tesla. And if you haven't, hey, it's a great time to check it out. So for more of that Apple goodness, go check out the AppleBits XL audio podcast with the latest stories and special guests. Plus, you can also support all my content with an ad-free version of the podcast, early access to my content, and exclusive content at patreon.com/BrianTalk. All right, that is going to do it for this video. If you like what you see, you know what to do. Give me that thumbs up, subs up, and hit that notification bell. Ding! You get all my latest videos when they drop. Thanks so much for watching. Take care, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace and love.
Here are 10 things that Americans find, well, weird about European homes. Number 1, the laundry situation. Having a washing machine next to your pots and pans in the kitchen or sometimes in the bathroom definitely makes us Americans do a double take. Most homes in the US have a dedicated laundry room or a utility closet or garage or something that the washer and dryer are kept in. For many European homes, a washer or a combo washer and dryer is in the kitchen because that's where there is already some plumbing and electricity to be able to extend to the washing machine. Not only that, but so many homes in Europe don't actually have a dryer at all. Or if they do have one, it's smaller and it's used for washing their bed linens and things like that. Whereas in America, we're used to shoving like a cargo load of clothing in there and having it done in an hour, as opposed to hanging it out on lines inside or outside the house. It's something that used to be more common, but I'd say as a standard, we're pretty much accustomed to using our washer and dryer to do all of our laundry all the time. Number 2 on our list, no window screens. This is a big one. In America, we have screens everywhere on every window. We're just totally accustomed to that because we don't want to deal with flies at all. Mosquitoes in particular, house flies, anything like that. But in Europe, you'll be hard-pressed to find any windows with screens in them. Now, in a lot of places, we found that you don't actually need screens because there's not really an issue with bugs. And in other places, it feels like, man, you really need some screens in here because there are bugs everywhere. So regardless of whether you think they should or shouldn't be there, for us as Americans, it just seems weird not to have that. This is as good a time as any to acknowledge the fact that trying to encompass all of Europe in one list is a little bit rough, right? It's kind of hard to put all of these different cultures, languages, histories, and different people into one bucket. So I fully acknowledge that. And to all of my European friends, if there are any corrections that need to be made on this list or experiences that you have that are different from what we're talking about, feel free
that was
to go to the comments
perfect.
to educate both me and the rest of us.